Terry, in coming off the bye week and facing the Saints, what are some key things that to make sure that you start fast and also that you're sharp and not flat coming into this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost it's the energy that we have coming into this game, which obviously is going to be high. I think it was high going into the bye week, but coming out of a bye week, obviously the fundamentals you want to really be focused on: protecting the football, tackling, and with a week off, you got to get used to playing in the pace of a full football game again. It's not a long time off, but it's long enough to where if you could let your fundamentals slip. But I think we have a great group of guys and coaches who aren't going to let those things happen. Like yesterday, we got back to the fundamentals of tackling and making guys miss and protecting the football. So those are things that kind of show up after a little bit of layoffs that can hinder you coming in after a bye week. So for us this week, I think we just got to do a great job of taking care of the football, going into a loud environment. You know what I mean? That's a very loud environment down in New Orleans, and we have to do a good job of not getting behind the sticks and staying in those third and manageable, second and medium, third and manageable, fourth down and short. All those opportunities that give us chance to stay on the field, to give our defense a chance to rest, not having too many 3-and-outs and things like that, and defensively just trying to create turnovers, make it tough on their offense to make plays. And I think I'm just excited to see how we come out this week, because we did a great job of finishing strong going into the bye week, but that's over now. And I think DQ has done a great job of making sure we're compartmentalizing, not looking too far ahead, and just focusing on the New Orleans Saints this week. We're not focusing on the week after that or playoffs, none of that. We're focused on being our best version of ourselves this week.
And at this stretch of the season, where have you seen the most growth with this team, and even more so on offense?
That's a good question. I think the ability to adapt and the ability to overcome a little bit of the adversity that we've had over that 3-game stretch where we were losing, where we weren't, protecting the football. We weren't in those manageable downs and situations. And offensively, I felt like last week, or whenever we played Tennessee last, we did a good job of all the things that we did well earlier in the season. And as you get down to this time of the season, like, all those things are even more pertinent, and they're more they require more of your focus, because those little details show up. I think at this time of the season, either you're a team who's not playing for anything, or you're a team that's has a chance to play for it all. And fortunate enough, we're one of those teams. But I think you can't allow the small details and the small fundamentals that allow us to get to this point to slip. And like I said, a great job by DQ of making sure that's our focus. And we have a good veteran group in there that knows the task at hand. But I think we're at our best when we have high energy on the sidelines, when we're rooting for one another, offense for defense, defense for offense, special teams as well. And being able to, I think the biggest thing is being able to bounce back when things don't go right. These last this last stretch of the season is going to be some tough games. Each and every one of them is going to probably go down to the fourth quarter. So we have to be able to have short memory when things go bad, and when things go good, we got to think next play. We can't spend too much time celebrating that. So those are the improvements I've seen, and it's fun to be a part of a group that is hungry and having fun, but also knows that we have room to improve, and we're excited to prove that on the field.
Donna Hopkins, Pro Football Plus, out here at Commanders headquarters after the bye week as they get ready to start up again facing the New Orleans Saints. So what are some key things that this team needs to focus on coming off the bye week? Well, I asked Coach Quinn and the players, how do they come off the bye week and make sure that they're sharp and not flat?
The practice is where we really come together as an entire team, and the urgency at practice, that's the marker, because that urgency can also help you with the focus. That urgency can help you with the communication. You've been a part of a practice where it's fast and it's upbeat, and you're hearing that type of communication. So what we did today was to set us up for a great week. So jog through, some throwing, some catching, the communication, the line of scrimmage, was all designed to, as going into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that we can really throw a hell of a week and have ourselves a championship week.
Time to get back to business. Talk a little bit about facing the Saints this week.
It's gonna be fun. I mean, I played football down the road, so I went to a couple of their games. I was blessed to go to a couple of their games, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good challenge. They're a good team. Superdome gets pretty loud, and they're rolling. So we'll go out there. We'll see what we can do and compete against them.
And looking at this team at this stage, what are you seeing the most growth at this team overall?
Yeah, I'll say just our ability to fight through adversity. Obviously, things don't go as perfect, as smooth as you want them to, but the resilience that we show and how we're going to keep fighting to the end of the game, win, lose, or draw, I'll say that's the biggest growth and improvement that I've seen from OTAs to even now.
Finally, you get back on the field. Hopefully, just talk about being able to come back after all this time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited, to hopefully get an opportunity, just kind of see how it goes. It's been a while. I've been feeling good the last few weeks, though, honestly. But, I think the timing with the bye week and everything, kind of time to open up my window. So, just going to try to, have a good week of practice and see what happens come Sunday.
How far ahead are you right now in percentage? Would you say you are almost 100%?
Oh, yeah, I feel good. Like I said, I've been feeling good the last few weeks, really. But like I said, I think the way it timed out, just like with the opening of my window after the bye. So I've been feeling great the last few weeks, so I feel good. I mean, I think, it means a lot. I got a lot of experience. So like I said, I just want to go out there and help as much as I possibly can if I get the opportunity. I'm prepared as well as I can this week and go out there and be ready to play. It's been tough for sure. It's definitely been frustrating. It's been an up and down year just from a standpoint of, being active, being inactive, and then dealing with an injury and stuff. So, but now I'm in the moment now. Like I said, I'm just going to prepare this week and, see what happens.
Coming off a bye week, making sure that this team is sharp, facing the Saints, what are the keys in making sure that you come out like you finished before the bye week?
Just picking back up, make sure that we're in shape again, going out there having fun, and then still having those little details, down to a T. We want to go out there and play fast, play physical for a whole 4 quarters, and that's what it is.
You lose a player like Noah Brown, which is huge and everything. How does everybody else pick up from that point, knowing that he's not going to be out there and he was a key part of this offense?
Oh, man, we're going to miss him. He was a key player, and we pray for speedy recovery for him, wish the best for him. But, it's part of the game. Things happen throughout this league, and they come with the game, so it just next man up, and at the end of the day, regardless of who it is, if it's me or if it's somebody else, if it's OZ or Luke or anybody, it can be anybody at any given time to go out there and have an opportunity to show what they can do.
Looking at yourself over this stretch of this year and heading into the home stretch, could you assess just how you've seen yourself this season?
I wouldn't fully say I'm completed yet. But at the end of the day, I did have some times to where I showed a lot of what I can do, like as far as like screens, run out the catch, being out there, being able to block and things like that, and I think that plays a big role, within the offense. So still got a lot more to go.
And looking at this home stretch, you all have this season in your hands. It's up to you, not worrying about anybody else. What are some keys in making sure that it's one game at a time, but you finish strong overall?
Yeah, definitely taking one game at a time. We don't want to look past anybody. We don't want to go in this game and be like, oh, this is an easy game, or this is a game to where we can relax and still. But at the end of the day, we have to go out there and play our hardest, regardless of who we're playing, and at the end of the day, it's still take one game at a time, but it starts throughout the week as well. You take it one day at a time, so we have our different focuses throughout the days and throughout the weekend. We want to put it all together during game day.
How would you describe this offense going into the final stretch?
I'd say we just had to be explosive, and we can do that in many different ways. We can pass the ball, we can run the ball as well. I think we're really balanced at what we do, and as long as we go out there and play hard, have fun, and play for each other, we'll be good.
I think it's just going to be a group effort. I think we'll all just be, rotating in there as we usually do. But yeah, we'll see on game day. But
what is keys?
Just start some practice. I think we just got to practice how we want to play. coming off a bye week, everybody's pretty rested and fresh. Getting a whole week to rest. So I just think it starts in practice and preparing how we want to play.
In the stretch run, the things that you all do, what do you like about that?
I just love the cohesiveness. We all play as a team. We play really hard for each other, and it's a bunch of selfless people. So I really enjoy that, and just being able to go out there, have fun with people I really care about.
Cornelia, talk about just where you see this team at going into this, coming out of this bye week, especially the offensive line and being back.
Feeling refreshed. It was a long 14 weeks, I think. Mm-hmm. We finally got a week off. I feel like guys got a chance to get away, refresh themselves, and I feel like we're all steam ahead.
I asked the other guys, coming off a bye week and making sure that you come out sharp and not flat. What are some of the keys?
Some of the keys just being focused, intentional on the things that we need to accomplish this week, being intentional on the things that we practice, how we practice, the energy that we bring to practice, and just letting everything carry over into the game.
Looking at the offensive line, how do you see that group right now? You've had a chance to gel all season up into this stretch. How do you see that unit as far as pass and run blocking?
I feel like this is one of the better units we've had in a few years, you know what I'm saying? Not in a few years, in the years I've been here. I feel like we're all healthy. Coming off the bye week, like I said, we're fresh. And I'm excited to see what we do this week.
Talk about this week against the Saints and everything. What are some keys against this team that's also trying to still get into the playoffs in this stretch?
Keys to victory. Play our fashion of football.
Which is?
Our fashion of football. Smart, fast, physical, hard hitting. Be the hammer, not the nail.
Yeah, and you had a chance to step back and just look at this team overall. How do you see this team as a unit, and what do you like about them? Because, like I said, you've been here, but this is a new, fresh look for you.
Yeah. One word that comes to mind when you ask me that, just brotherhood. From day one, they preach brotherhood, and I feel like everyone is bought into that. I wish you could be here in the mornings when it's 32 guys playing dominoes and cards and a bunch of guys just talking about whatever. But every time we walk in here, I just feel a sense of brotherhood.
Home stretch right now. I know it's one game at a time, but some key factors heading into this home stretch when it even means more right now.
Finish. Be intentional about the things that you want to work on. Be intentional about finishing. Because right now, it's norm for teams to get lax. It's norm for players to get lax. But just being intentional with everything you do, finishing vigorously.
How does this team focus on coming out sharp and not flat after this bye week?
You just lock in from day one. You get back into your routine of things, get back into how you were operating before you left, and just realize that this is the stretch that is important. The most important game is the one we play next. So just realizing that and then going into every rep and every practice, understanding that.
Got a young team, though, in saying all that you just said. What is the message that you will resonate with younger guys out here this week in coming off a bye week and being sharp?
Get your minds back right. Get your minds back into it. You took the time off. You were able to get away from it. Now it's time to lock back in. It's an important 4-game stretch for us, and I need your best because that's what's required and that's what's asked of me. So that's it.
Talked about the home stretch. Talk about this home stretch and where you see this team in finishing out.
I could say where I see us finishing out, but at the end of the day, right, like I said,
or just where this team is right now.
We're coming off a bye. You got a lot of good energy coming off a win before the bye, but none of that stuff matters right now. And all that matters is the work that's put into this week and preparing to play this game. That's it. It's the NFL, man. If you don't prepare, you don't win. So just going into that, understanding that, you just realize that, everything's important at this point.
How big would it be to have a Jamison Crowder back this week in that special teams unit?
Yeah, it'd be huge to have JC back, man. I love JC, man. He's a great player, man. He definitely brings lots to the table. He's solidified as who he is and what he brings to the table. So it's always nice to have one of your guys back out there playing.
Also on offense, I asked Coach Quinn, where did he see the growth of this offensive line as far as in pass and run protection? And, heading into the home stretch, what is he looking to see from this team overall? And this is what he had to say about the offensive line. And I also, in transitioning over to the defensive side of the ball, wanted to find out a little bit more about what he saw in the defensive line's play over the last few weeks or so, where they've gotten much more pressure up front, and also, being able to stop the run and as far as pass defense. And although they have gotten better, and that last game really showed, he likes to see even more out of them. So, as we head into the home stretch and every game is important, this is what Coach Quinn had to say about that. And then we also heard from some of the defensive players, because guess what? They have to face another great runner. Where have you seen the growth as far as the offensive line, as far as their pass and their run protection?
The last game was a big boost for us. We really have emphasized it, Donna, to make sure could our combinations be on point, and could we really nail down the things that we wanted to. Now, like most things, one game doesn't say, okay, everything's this or that, but staying in that pocket of putting the work in, because this is a really connected group. And so having Wiley back into that has been good. Luke has started at right and at left. So the group has played, 7 or 8 guys and played well doing that. But to have everybody in concert and connected for all the practices, that's a big deal moving forward. And so those are the things that take place on the offensive side. It's so much of it is chemistry and the communication with those guys. And so having the chance to full speed work, that allows you to play really fast when the game comes, because you've already done some reps in practice that were at like a good pace. And so that's where those small advantages come in.
Same with the defense. Where have you seen that improvement?
The same spot for me in the run game, and certainly from the last game, but the same emphasis of in-run fits, into the go. We're still, digging in on to make sure that's all the time. And this group is a really good running offense. And so I love that that's the challenge for the guys for this week. They've got a bunch of different schemes and some like a really accomplished running group.
Just execution from the first place to the last, I think, is very important. And just for us to, all be on the same page, communication, great, execution is great, and just go out and play ball and be us.
Talk to me about the Saints. They don't know who the quarterback is going to be right now, and it probably really doesn't matter. But talk to me about facing the Saints and that team that's trying to get into the playoffs too.
Yeah, it's definitely a good team, despite the record. But they got some good players, and just for us, man, just staying locked in to where guys at, where they're gonna be, and I think the formation tell us a whole lot playing them. So really just being able to read our keys and just play fast.
You talked about being locked in. Coach Quinn talked about when this team came back this week, you could just feel the energy in this room of ready to get back to business.
Yeah, everybody had a week off, so everybody.
I even needed.
Everybody did something a little different with their time, but I think it was much needed what we needed during the right time, so we can just come back and go on the stretch.
And talking about the stretches, I know it's one game at a time, but what are some keys to make sure that this team is sharp for the rest of the season, so that you all have your own destiny in your own hand and not worrying about anybody else?
Right. I think for us, man, just control the controllables. Just control everything we can control. Just our execution, effort, playing the ball, make plays on the ball, and just all be on the same page. I think communication is going to be real important, especially coming off this bye week for us.
And looking at the Saints, when you look at that team, they've got a great runner in Kamara. What are key things as far as just making sure that you contain him?
We got to set violent edges, be gap sound, and everybody be on the same page. He's a good runner, he's elusive, he's active, he's a real good player. So we got to be on our best game.
And what are some of the key things that Coach Quinn has preached this week in coming off the bye and finishing this home stretch strong?
Simply just take it week by week, Don't look too far down the line. Just be ready to work for what we got coming our way.
What do you like about the growth of this defense that you see right now from, where you're at right now headed into the home stretch. Where do you see the growth at, and what do you like about this defense right now?
From week one to now, we have improved so much. Whether it was consistent or not, we found ways to get better, and yet we still doing the same thing. So it was just everybody bought in. It's a new defense for a lot of people. They've never seen some of the things that we got for us. So just seeing the execution, the level of commitment that we have in the room is everything.
Just making sure that, we're sharp mentally and, that we just come, basically don't be too comfortable, just come with the same type of mentality that we've been having, during the beginning of the season and last week. Just go out there and, start fast and finish strong. A lot of stuff really, but really just going out there, starting fast and finish strong.
Coach talked about just the energy of just getting back in the building. Can you just feel that right now of you all just wanting to go out there and play and not knowing who's going to be the quarterback for the Saints?
Yeah, it was definitely cool to come back and see all the guys being excited. It kind of gave you like a college feel when college guys go home, and when they come back, they be so happy to see each other. So that was cool just to see how close our brotherhood is, and just being ready to get back to the special journey that we're on, and getting back to work and getting ready for the Saints. They don't have their starting quarterback, but we've been watching the other two guys. Rattler and the other guy, they're pretty good quarterbacks. Can't take anybody lightly in this league because they get paid as well. So, just get ready for this week. Sharpen our tools today, do it tomorrow, and get ready for Sunday.
Talking about sharpen and just energy, you yourself, as far as the psych machine so far.
Yeah, definitely. Got to tip my hat off to Joe Witt for putting me in some good positions to get a quarterback. Me and Coach Ryan put in some good work during the week, and I just take it out there and put it out there on Sundays.
Have you been surprised just about what you've been able to do this year?
No, I haven't been surprised just because I know what I've always been capable of. And it's just like when I was with Dallas, everything was, I had limited reps and stuff like that, being a pass rusher and things like that. And, just coming here, I got more reps and more opportunities. And that always been my thing. The more reps you get, the more production you're going to get from me. So, take my hat off to Joe Witt and DQ for believing in me and letting me come out here and showcase my talents to the Washington fan base.
Finishing strong, you all have destiny for the playoffs and everything in your hands. Could you just talk about the keys to finishing this season out strong so that you get the opportunity for a playoff? I know it's one game at a time, but just talk about this home stretch.
Yeah, it's super important, staying neutral and, doing what we've been doing, not riding a roller coaster and things like that. December football is really important, so we just want to stay on it, hone on it, make sure we're ready mentally and physically, get our bodies ready, and, take every game week by week. And I think by the end of the season, we'll be where we want to be at.
Well, Coach Quinn talked about the energy when this team came back this week to prepare for the New Orleans Saints, and talking to the players on both the offensive and the defensive side of the ball. They know what's at stake, and they know what they have to do in order to come out sharp in this game against the Saints, who also are trying to get into playoffs. So I think that this team has to be able to run the ball. Brian Robinson and that crew did a great job just before the bye week, and now that bodies are well and rested, and the offensive line is pretty much back intact, that's going to be key. And as Coach Quinn talked about, just what he's seeing from the run and the pass offensive protection, that he likes where they're headed. So on the defensive side of the ball, they know what they have to do in stopping another great runner. So as I say, the rest of this season is in their hands, and they know what needs to take place for this team to, keep moving forward at this stage. And you, at this stage of the game, you want to be able to play solid ball as you move forward in this playoff chase But this Commanders team coming off this bye week and how they come out of this bye week, we'll see come Sunday as they go on the road to face the New Orleans Saints. Donna Hopkins out here at Commanders headquarters getting ready for the Saints.